So, I have heard this so many times. What Game Boy is the best Game Boy? And today I'm going to answer it for you. And yeah, let's just get started. So, if you grew up with the Game Boy, then to be honest, that Game Boy will probably be the best for you. But if you already have it, or something like that, and you want more, so if you grew up with the original Game Boy and you want more, then there is more choices. So, it of course depends on what you're looking for. If you want price, if you don't have that much money to spend, then a clear winner for me would be a Game Boy Advance SP. They aren't too expensive. They have a backlit screen, or front lit as they're probably called now. And yeah, the frontlit screen is just so good. The buttons feel pretty good, but the Game Boy Advance SP is not too comfortable. But if you have some more money to spend, then I recommend this bad boy. The Game Boy, okay, now it has some, yeah, anyway, the Game Boy Advance with a modded, if it's modded, a Game Boy Advance with an IPS screen. Of course, they will probably get a new shell, because it is, it's a lot more comfortable. This is probably the most comfortable Game Boy to hold. It fits perfectly into your hands if you don't have too big or too small hands. Or no, I think they fit pretty well in small hands too. And it's pretty expensive though, so that's the thing. This one, if I were to sell it, I would sell it for about 1,500 bucks. And yeah, pretty expensive. While the SP goes for about 90, 80 to 100. So yeah, but if you want something even cheaper, then the Advance is going to be your friend. It does not have a front-lit or backlit screen, so you need something like a worm light, which I should have somewhere here. Yeah, this is maybe a bit bad example, but I do recommend getting something like a worm light. Yeah, so that's a worm light. It's tangled, right, oh, never mind. So you just put it in on top, but it's pretty hard to adjust. But they're really cheap too, so the money adds up, These go for about 50 to 60 bucks, while the worm light is about 10, something like that. So yeah, but if you want something even cheaper, and if you're only looking to play Game Boy Advance games, then a DS Lite, they're always a bit cheaper. Or even just first generation DS are pretty cheap, because they can have Game Boy Advance games. And if you are tech savvy and know how to use your computer, then you can get something like an EverDrive or Ease Flash, and then you can play Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games. Yeah, but the Ease Flash or EverDrive is pretty expensive, so that might not be a choice for many people. But yeah, they have a big game library. Or you can actually even get, do I have an example right here? Maybe not. Yes. So, one of these R4 cards. I actually have one in box too. You just put it in, and those you can... I think you can, yeah, you can emulate Game Boy Advance, Game Boy, and Game Boy Color games. So, yeah, that's a cheap way. The Switch is not good for playing Game Boy games, just straight out. Yeah, if you're looking for some nostalgia, Game Boy first generation, or if you want to play on something retro, but it's not a good choice if you if you want a big game library, in my opinion. And Game Boy Color 2, it has Game Boy, it can play Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, but the game library, it's not too big, while the Game Boy Advance can play Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games. Of course, none of these are region locked. All of these are unlocked, actually. Yeah, all of them. So yeah, they're pretty good, but the advance or advance SP is, to be honest, a clear winner. And I mean, it also charges in the back, but it does not have a headphone jack. But I don't think the headphone jack is a deal breaker nowadays. Yeah, so I guess that's it. You can also play some Game & Watch games if you're into that. Expand your game library a bit, but yeah, I mean, that's it. Great. Thank you guys for watching. Like, dislike, comment down below if you disagree with my opinion, or if you have something to add, and tell me how I did. I think I did pretty good. I mean, I sell these Game Boys every single day, so yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.